Alright, in this video we're going to be looking at using a thing called the section plane, and that allows you to look inside 3D objects without having to delete anything. So without using it, if we wanted to see inside this roof cavity, it'd be a bit tricky. We'd have to actually select the surface and delete it, and then we'd be able to see inside, which would mean that afterwards we'd have to put it back on there. So if we want to do any extra modeling in here, it can be quite tricky. So that is what the section plane allows us to do. This allows us to get into areas without having to delete everything. So what you can do is you can find it over here. So where it's got the tape measure, there are a few different tools. I'll show you a bit more of the tape measure later. But this section plane, when you click on it, it comes up with this, I guess something that looks a little bit like the compass, how it jumps around depending upon what surface you're on, which is what we saw when we were doing the rotate in a previous movie. Now, what we can do is that if I click on this surface here, it will then assume that I want to angle my section plane or my transparency window so I can see through at that same angle. So I'm just going to left click now, and you'll see that what it's done, if I zoom out, it's got this big area here, and at the moment I can currently see through inside this area there of my roof. Now, just like any other feature or object inside SketchUp, I can select just by left clicking. All right, there we go. So now it's blue. I've left clicked that. I could use my move, just like I've done before as well. And as I move, you can see that it starts slicing through, and I'll do the same thing on my roof that's lower down if I keep going. But at the moment, I'm a little bit too high. So if I click over here, as I keep going, there we go. So it'll slice through everything that is in there. Now, if I go back to about this point here and left click to lock it in, the really handy thing is that then with my selection tool, I can go through and select anything which is inside. So if I built a house and then I wanted to do furniture and change any little features around, this is how I can do it. So you can also see that these walls, as was shown in a previous movie, that they are indeed very hollow. But you won't notice that while you've got the section plane turned off. So that's really cool. The other thing you can do as well, if you want to change the angle, just like the other features as well before, that you can rotate. So what I'll do first, I'll select my section plane, and if I go back into my rotate, and it doesn't matter if I'm not clicking on my section plane here, I'm just saying how I want it to rotate, which angle I want it to go around. So I'll click on this face and click again, and then as I go through and do this, you can see now it's allowing me, it's glitching a little bit, but it's allowing me to rotate exactly how my section plane is actually working there. Because it started at a bit of a weird angle and I'm rotating it around a weird angle, it's doing some strange things here. But it basically means you can modify it a little bit so that you can get under the hood of your house and you can still modify it and change it. So try it out, and when you're done with it, then with it still selected, you can just press delete and it goes away. It's done no harm to your models, everything is still there, but anything you've modified on the inside of the 3D objects will remain modified just like you set up. Okay, so have a bit of a play with that one, get used to it, it's pretty cool.